In the poem If by Rudyard Kipling, he says in part, "If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son." Well, I screwed the pooch on that one. So here's the deal. If you watch the first episode from this series, you know that I started this YouTube channel with the idea of kind of force myself to work on my MG midget. I figured if I shot video and shared my progress with all of you, it would kind of give me a motivation to keep going and keep working on this thing and get over my fears of messing things up and so forth. Well, it turns out I did mess things up, but not in the way that I thought I would. I have several other YouTube channels, and while they serve their purpose, none of them have ever blown up. I do not know what it means to go viral. And so that was kind of the mindset I had when I started this channel. In fact, I expected it would do far worse than any of my other channels because, well, it's just this little tinkering around a garage crap, right? Why would this be anything extraordinary? And in the beginning, I was right. It just kind of picked up here and there, nothing special. But then I made a video about putting PVC and ABS pipe underneath my shelf, shelf slots. I made the shelf slots video, and that thing went crazy. Now, no, I'm not going to say I went viral to the extent of Mr. Beast or anything, not even resembling. But for my experience on YouTube, it did absolutely phenomenally. And my friends, this messed with my head something ferocious. All of a sudden, I wanted nothing more than to recapture that lightning in a bottle. And so I started to think about what videos I should make next. Should I make one about, another organization thing? Should I make one about, I don't know, drawers and shelves? I mean, I was just doing all kinds of things, trying to figure out what was it about those shelf slots that caught on so well, and how could I recreate that? And so I started grasping in the dark and made this and made that, and even started working on the video you're watching right now, which incidentally, in terms of what I'm actually making, is utterly and completely useless to you. And not just useless, it is completely off the radar for what this channel was supposed to be in the first place. Well, I got stuck in my own head. Rather than thinking about the car and what I should work on next, all I could think about was that next hit, how to get those sweet, sweet subscribers and likes and comments and views and all that nonsense. And I fell into a funk. I fell into this weird-ass funk because that's not what this channel was, and yet somehow or another that's what I allowed it to become. Well, this is my confessional to you. No more. I'm sorry. The channel's not going to be that interesting. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of DIY stuff. I'm not going to do garage organization and so on. Those are the things that would get me hits and clicks and likes and subscribers, but that's not what this channel is for. It's for working on the car, and that's what I'm going to do. And that is a slow, tedious, quite frankly, uninteresting process. But that's what we're going to do. Yeah, that'll work. If I ever use it. Oh no. If you want to see how I did this, stick around and I'll show you how I built this and so forth. Otherwise, if you have no interest, just go ahead and, skip out now. But all right, I did it, fine, whatever. But it's time to get back to work on what really matters. That thing. So the dolly I'm making is based on a design done by David Sandberg. He's the director of Shazam and a whole bunch of other movies and so forth. He calls it his shitty dolly. And I'll go ahead and put a link to the YouTube video he has in the description below. I very much follow his design, although I make a few changes that I think improves the design. Not that you really, it's a piece of crap dolly, so any improvement isn't going to be phenomenal or anything. I went ahead and bought these wheels. They're, skateboard wheels off of Amazon. I found a piece of wood that worked just fine. Hey, I get to actually use my lumber organization system there, which once again was a pointless endeavor. Well, not pointless. I have a nice organization system now. But you know what? That was a distraction from the car. Now, one thing I did that he did not do that actually made a big difference is I flattened or at least bent the braces that I use so that they fit flush against the wood. That way, when I screw them in place, they hold nicely. He actually had to end up cutting off the ends of his screws, which, just take this one small step, get the right size screw, and you're in good shape. Of course, he was being smart and using screws he already had. I think I actually went off and bought these screws, so I don't know, maybe his was better after all. Now I get a piece of PVC pipe here. This is what the dolly will eventually run over. So I just want to test it, make sure that it's lining up right. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, getting them to line up exactly right is difficult. It doesn't really matter too much though, so it's all good. I went ahead and screwed down the braces, and now of course I'm attaching the wheels, so they should be all lined up and ready to go. It's at this stage that I realized that I screwed something up and, of course, had to redo it all. But at the end of the day, it worked, as you can see, and we're all set. And so that's it. That's how you make a dolly. If you care. All right. We'll see you later.